Hey, Rockstars, welcome to another Tradie Tip. Big question I got recently was, how do you start a contracting business if you have no money? So that's what we're going to be talking about today on another Tradie Tip. Okay, so how do you start a contracting business if you don't have any money? Well, I'm going to give you the answer to that. You don't. Seriously, one of the biggest killers of businesses, and this is exponential when it comes to contracting businesses, is they run out of cash flow. Okay. Cash is the gas to your business. I'll say it again. Cash is the gas to your business. So if you don't have any cash, then you're going to be setting yourself up for a huge risk and towards failure. All right. The reality that a lot of people don't realize with the contracting business is, as much as we don't want to be a bank, we are a bit of a bank for our clients because of the type of business that we're in. So what do I mean by that? Well, the reality is that you have to pay for your material, right? Usually you're going to have to pay for that material unless all you're doing is like daily service calls. Okay. But a lot of contractors,
I'm going to be dealing with the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle.
80% of contractors are doing jobs that, span outside of, weeks, if not months. And you end up having to save up enough money so that you've got enough cash flow to support you and your needs. And what are some of those needs? I would start out right away by having a helper, somebody that's going to be, I call them, back in my day, we used to call them the grunt. Because everything that you would do was like labor intensive and you'd be grunting, right? But like a runner, like a road runner, like somebody that's going to be able to do those low value tasks for you. If you can start off with enough cash flow to support somebody, take the time, with the company that you're working for right now, put some money away, make sure you set the proper budgets for that. Make sure you got enough budget for, your vehicle, for gas. Make sure you got enough budget for material to support those jobs, because like I said, at the beginning of a project, you're having to support the cash flow, the cash needed to get those jobs started. Okay. You don't want to start off running your business already in the hole. And that's my personal opinion, because you're at significant risk. You're trying to figure out whether or not this is going to be right for you. Being a business owner and starting your own contracting company is very, very different than just working for somebody. Because this brings me to the next part of our discussion. You want to lay out what it's called an organizational structure looks like. You need to lay out what are the different hats, from marketing, from sales, from operations, from, installation, from financial, like accounting and bookkeeping. All those things have to occur in order to have a successful business, and they all need to occur in a very structured way. So I would have you spend more time, like I said, putting money aside, making sure you've got budget set out so that you can float yourself for, let's say, a minimum of 6 to 9 months. And you might be like, Andrew, it's going to take me like 6 to 9 months, if not a year, to put this money aside. Well, guys, I want to set you up for success. Okay. The second part, like I was talking about, is you need to, as best as possible, define what are those roles and responsibilities so that you have a trajectory of like how big you want to grow this business and who is it that you're going to need to support you along the way. You definitely want to start out with having some of these resources. Okay. And this is somewhat in the order that you want to start out with. You want to have a good accountant and bookkeeper, because you want to know your numbers right out of the gate so that you're tracking to your budget and to your plan. You also want to, as best as possible, have somebody, even if it's
part-time, maybe it's 2 hours, 5 hours,
10 hours a week, administrative person to do those lower level tasks for you. And in conjunction with that, similar type of role, but specific to the trades, you want to have a helper. You want to have somebody that's going to be able to do some of the, lower level, parts of the installation so that you can do the higher level things, like making sure you're quoting your jobs profitably, making sure that you're running the jobs profitably, making sure you're getting the right clients. And so those are the things I really get you to consider, as far as thinking about starting a contracting business. So my answer to the question, coming back to the beginning of this trading tip, you should not be starting out a contracting business unless you have the cash flow to support it. and you have those other, other pieces of the puzzle that I just laid out for you as well. If you do the things that I mentioned to you and you lay it out properly, you're going to be setting yourself up for success. So that's another tradie tip. Hopefully that was insightful for you. And for those of you that are currently running your contracting business, if you don't have those things in place, make sure you get them in place. And I would suggest in the order that I described to you. Pause this, rewind it, go back, write down the order, write down the areas as far as budget and cash flow and things of that nature, and set yourself up for success. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Hey Rockstar, if this video resonated with you at all and you want a proven plan and pathway to take your contracting business to the next level with me and my team of experts, click the link below and apply for a free 50-minute pathway to Profits Call.